A wire-wrapped pendant is the focus of today's video tutorial. Hi, I'm Gail Beaded Jewelry Diva, and today I will show you how to make this pendant and also how to make the bail. For this first part, I'm going to demonstrate using a short piece of wire on account of the fact that I don't want to smack my camera. What you'll do is you will take your short nose or your round nose pliers and you'll make a small circle at the end of your wire. Next, you will take your flat nose pliers, or you can use a bent nose, and you will make a spiral. And if you don't know how to make a spiral, I do have a video on it that I will link. Once you have your spiral about the size you want, you'll take your pliers and put it right about the middle of the spiral. So you've got one arm sticking out, and then you have your spiral, and I'm just moving it down. So I'm taking the wire and just moving it against the pliers. And you'll notice you have a lollipop. Then I will take my round nose pliers and I'll put it right about to the end of the lollipop. And I will put the circle. Now, I want to show you that at this point the swirl is going in this direction. I am going to make my circle in the opposite direction. So I want to bend it until I have it at about a 45-degree angle. What you'll do is then you'll put your round nose pliers into the circle and you are going to bend it up. So it will look like this. You will have just about a double loop on one side, a single loop on the other. And at this point, I would just take the flat nose pliers and just straighten it out a bit. I would go ahead and, make a nice bend in the wire there. And if there's anything that looks like it's a little out of place or out of plane, I'll go ahead and mush it down, technical term. So straighten out your wire as you like, and now we'll go on to the fun part with the beads. So I've got my beads on the wire now. I have a 4mm bead, I have my focal bead, and I have another 4mm bead. Now what you need to do is you need to take your round nose pliers and you want to put it somewhat above this 4mm bead. You do not want to put it like this. You don't want to put it all down scrunched up. You want to put it up a little bit because you need a neck for this next part. Now that we've got our neck, bend the wire over so it looks like this. Then put your pliers about as big as where you want your loop to be and wrap it around so it looks like this. Then bring it back around so it has like a little scarf. Now for this you need your flat nose, or your flat nose pliers works really the best. So you've got your wire coming from the back. What you want to do is you want to wrap your wire around the front. So whatever direction you have your wire going, you want to wrap it the opposite direction. Now I'm putting my pliers back on the loop because for this next step, I'm going to be taking this wire and I'm going to be making kind of like an arc with it. And I'm going to start slowly wrapping it around the bead. And you want to make sure that you've got enough for your 4mm bead to be up against this. Once I've got about halfway through, I usually just put down the pliers and I do the rest of the wrapping with my hand. I I take a look at it and I want to see if I want to adjust anything or if I like the way that the wire is spiraling around. If I do, if I don't, I do the adjustment right now. If I do like it, what I will do is I will move this down so now you see we have a gap between this 4mm bead and the start of our loops. I like to grab this, hold the wire taut, and then start wrapping it. So you're going for the neck. See this neck area? And you're going to wrap it around. Usually once will do it. So it looks like this. So here's the bottom, here's the top. Now what you'll do is you will take your flush cutters and you will snip off the excess wire. And then take another pair of pliers. I'm going to use a bent nose and secure the wire, so tuck it in. All right, what we want now is to clean up this edge, make sure that all the beads are centered. So what I'm doing is I'm gently moving the wire so that, again, it's centered. And you'll notice that my loop here is in a different direction than the spiral. Now, if you want to just go ahead and put this on a cord like this, then all you need to do is take your pliers and just, make sure it's nice and even. Make sure that you have everything all tucked in, and you can slide it on a necklace this way. But if you want to use it with a bail, what I like to do is I'll take my hand and I'll hold the bottom. I'll take my pliers and I grab the top and I move the bottom so that now it and the top face the same direction. And if I need to move this around a little, I can. So just work with it a bit until you've got it the way you want it. And our next step is going to be putting it on the bail. Hey, if you've enjoyed the video up to this point, can you do me a favor and hit the like button? It'll help other people like you find this video. Thank you. Now I've got this bail, and by the way, if you want to know how to make this bail, just keep watching because I will show you how to do it. But take your bail, make sure that your bead is going to be facing the right direction, and slide it on. So here's what we just made. And before I show you how to make the bail, let me show you a few other design ideas. Now on this particular pendant, I actually made it out of 20 gauge wire instead of 18, which you can do if you're gentle on your necklaces. And I have this bail that I showed you how to make in my donut video, and I'll link that so you can see that. Let me show you another one. For this one, I actually did some coiling around the spiral down at the bottom. I put in a bead on the circle, and then I have a slightly different bail. So this is a little bit of a different look. And by the way, if you are liking these pendant beads that I am using, I do have a tutorial on how to make these. So here's one where I actually reverse the bail, and I have the swirls up at top. So that makes it for an interesting look as well. I've got about 4.5 inches of the 18 gauge wire. I'm going to find about the middle of it with my round nose pliers, and I will make a bend in it. Now, it would be nice if your wires came out even like mine did for a change, but if not, we'll fix that in the next step. What you'll do now is you will take a pair of pliers. I'm using a pair of flat nose pliers, and you are going to be squeezing this together until it's really tight. Look at your ends. This never happens to me. I never get the ends right. So let's pretend that the ends aren't right or aren't equal. You will take your pliers now and go ahead and snip. So both of the ends are like this. Next, you'll take your flat nose pliers and you'll gently, very gently, bend the tip, and this is just the very, very tip. Now I'm going to use some bail making pliers. You can do this with some round nose pliers. I just prefer not to because I like mine even. And when you have two wires laying side by side like this, round nose pliers, you know, they are graduated, so one of these sides is always going to come up a little bit smaller than the other. But in any case, I'm going to wrap this up until it looks like this. Again, I'm taking my bail making pliers, but you could use round nose pliers if you like. I'm grabbing it a little bit above the loop, and I'm going to bring it over to the front. I'm going to separate the wires so that one is on each side. So they will make a V with the loop in the middle. Now you'll take your round nose pliers and you are going to make a spiral. To making the spiral even is do one side, get the spiral the way you want it, and then do the other side immediately to get these spirals to look the same. So you want them the same kind of distance or same length. If they are not, or if they are twisted like mine are, go ahead and use this opportunity to straighten them out and make sure that they are even. Once you've got that, then you'll make a spiral, same as you did earlier. Now, if one of your spirals turned out a little wonky, you can take your round nose pliers and just shift it just a little bit, and they'll be a little bit more centered. Now, if you want to, you could always do wire wrap a bead in this place, or you can just push these closer together like so. As you can tell, it's kind of addictive to make these. They're really fun and really fast to make. And, you know, I just realized that it would be fun to have a necklace. Do you use these like charms? You would put a whole bunch of them on a necklace. Now, that's an idea. Now, I'd love to share with you some more videos, so you'll see some on screen that I think you might like. And meanwhile, let me go ahead and make some more videos so I can hang out with you and catch you later. Bye.